Primal Bodyweight. Just as I started doing that, the cat went in her box. I got this thing for her at the start of quarantine, and I keep moving it around to other different spots in my house, and she never wants to use it. But now that it's over here, she's doing it, so that'll be fun. Keep an eye out for the cat popping out. All right, Primal Bodyweight. We got bands and sticks. So if you don't have it already, go ahead, grab your stick, ideally something about arm's length so we can grab the ends like this without having to be short, that we can get a stretch. But if not, it's okay, it's not the end of the world. Broomsticks work great. Usually you can unscrew the broom or the handle from the actual broom itself and just use the stick so you don't have the broomy part. And then the other thing you're gonna need is a band. So I have one that is just a long length of band, but if you have something like a loop, loops work too, mini loop, long loop, just something stretchy and kind of string-like or yoga strap-like. So we did our sun salutation to start yesterday. We're gonna do our sun salutation to start today. So let's start top of the mat. And begin with toes together, the big toes. Little bit of space between the heels. We're gonna take an inhale, deep breath, big circle, reach up, stretch, squeeze your butt, shift your weight into your heels, and reach back. And hands to the heart, we're gonna bring it down to the floor, hands to the ground, you can let the head hang. Inhale, hands to the shins, glance up. Exhale, roll down. We're gonna plant both hands and step back our left leg into low lunge. Let's open up in our rotation. And back down, both hands down, send it back into full downward dog. And come forward into plank, then lower ourselves down to the floor, push up, relax your butt, upward dog, and then exhale, push back into your down dog. Scared my cat. Tiptoe those feet up towards the hands. Inhale, hands to the shins, glance up, flat back. Exhale, roll down. And finish by inhaling, rolling up. Big circle, reach. Squeeze your butt. Shift your weight to your heels. And look back. Reach. And hands down to the heart, down to the floor. Step back your right leg. And open up to the left. And bring it back down. Step back, downward dog. And come forward into plank. Lowering yourselves down. Push up, up dog. And exhale, push back, downward dog. And walk those feet up to the hands. Inhale, hands to the shins, glance up. Exhale, roll down, roll up. One last stretch. Sorry, my heater. Big toes together, weight into the heels. Inhale, reach. And back down. Let's take it down to the mat. And we're gonna be doing our open book. But this time, sorry, we're gonna do our scorpion roll, but this time we're gonna use our stick. So let's grab that stick, and we wanna be holding end to end when we're laying down on our belly. So I'll lay this one. So I'm holding my stick onto both ends here, like I'm trying to pull the stick apart into two different pieces. And just like we did yesterday for our scorpion roll, start with the foot, then lift the knee, and then the hip, and reach over and keep your pull on your stick while you're doing these. Then nice and slow, hip, knee, foot. And the other side. Reach, keep pulling on your stick. And nice and slow back. We're doing 10, and that's 2. 3. Inhale, reach. Exhale, back in. Keep pulling that stick. 4. And 5. 6. 7. And 8. Last 2. And 1. Now putting our stick to the side, we're going to use our band for our open book. So if you have whatever kind of band, if you have a mini loop, I find it easier to get my foot inside the loop itself. If you're using a long strand or a really long loop, fold it in half so your strand is a little bit shorter. And what we're going to be doing is, so if I'm laying on my left side, I'm going to just make sure I have my band around my left foot, ready to go. And then, yes, left foot. And then, so laying down on my left side, and my band is already wrapped around my left foot, but then I'm just going to leave it behind. Hook my top arm with my lower leg here, and then I'm going to reach my top arm back just like we did yesterday, but now I'm going to lift up my foot, get that band, holding onto my band on my foot, and use it to pull myself deeper into that open book. So what I've got going on is kind of this full pretzel. I'm holding my knee with one hand and holding onto the band foot with the other hand. So both my hands are holding on. Turn and look over your shoulder. What is happening behind me? Little circus. Turn and look over your shoulder. Inhale like you're trying to inflate a balloon that's in your armpit, and then when you exhale, let that shoulder relax a little bit further to the floor. Last exhale, relax that shoulder a little bit more. And then release the band off of the foot. Hold on to the band with your hand. And we're going to come back over with our top arm. Squeeze our legs together. And now our top leg, I'm going to get my band on my top foot. I'm going to stay on my side here. And I'm going to stretch this part of my thigh by keeping my knees together and then pulling that leg back using my band. So I'm stretching my quad and my hip flexor, front of the hip. If you need to increase the stretch, squeeze your butt, press your hips forward. And we're gonna hold and breathe. And then if you're flexible, very flexible, you might be able to just hold on to your leg itself. Remember, we're stretching our leg. And go ahead, release that leg. We're gonna roll over, starting with our open book on the other side, and then our quad stretch. Whoa. So before we go into the stretch, remember we get the band on the foot already, and then leave the foot on the ground, so it's kind of like waiting for us when we open in our stretch. Hook that top leg down onto the floor using your lower hand, and then we're gonna open up. Big inhale, and let's feel around. Where's my band? Grab onto my band and pull that foot back My aim is both shoulders on the floor without letting my knee come off the floor. Deep breath, exhale, relax into the stretch. Release your band off of your foot and then come back around with your top arm. Hook your top foot now on the top leg all the way on our side, and we're gonna pull our leg back, top leg back this time. The goal is to squeeze my butt, press my hips forward, and feel the stretch on the front of the quad, front of the thigh here. So as I'm pulling it back, I'm opening all of this goodness. And just holding, inhale, kick against the band, and exhale, relax, pull the band back a little bit further. Last deep breath. And we're gonna release our band and bring it back around. Let's take it over onto quadruped position for a cat-cow. We don't need any tools for this, but we're gonna do 7 like we did yesterday. Inhale, pull the spine up towards the ceiling, big stretch. Exhale, come back down. And 2. Oh my goodness. And 3. I don't know if you can see, but she's hiding behind the curtain and like pouncing at me. Oh my gosh, those paws are coming out from under the curtain. It's really scary. 3 more, big squeeze. And exhale, stretch. Ah, she got me. One more, last one. And we're gonna take it back, grab our stick now, and into half kneeling position. So for starters, we're gonna start with a squared off kneeling position. So my foot and leg are just straight in front of my hip, not out to the side, straight in front. And I wanna make sure my back toe is dug in, because then I can push off my back toe and squeeze my butt. My stick is gonna go on the outside of my front foot. This is maybe about 5 inches away or so. And make sure also, so if your hand's up here, lower it down so you get your elbow to come down towards your side. And we're going to start by pushing the stick down into the ground and then push it away. And I'm gonna squeeze my hips forward, squeeze my glutes, reach up and over to that stick as I push it down into the ground. Inhale, reach, 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 reach. And if you're lucky to have a very long stick or a bendy stick, you can even grab it with the top arm as well. And exhale, bring it back in. Now take the stick in both hands. Same thing, squeeze, drive the hips forward, and we're gonna reach up with our stick. Just a big stretch overhead. See if you can bring your shoulders back and bring it back down. Now I'm gonna take my foot out to the side. So it was in front. Now I'm gonna take it out to the side a little bit. So I've got this kind of wider stance with my half kneeling. This time I'm gonna take the stick and put it inside of that foot. And I still want my back toe dug underneath. So I've got my stick inside. I'm gonna do both hands. You can make sure they're one on top of the other, because we wanna do both ways, not clasped together, but we're gonna have one on top of the other, switch, and then do a little reach. So it doesn't matter which one you do first. We're gonna start by driving our hips forward, stretching this part of our hip flexors, push the stick down into the ground, and then we're also going to twist it opposite. So my hips are going to go this way, my stick is going to go this way. And I just need my knee pad. Having concrete floors does have its setbacks occasionally. So again, let's drive our hips to the right, drive down into your stick, and twist it to the left. So you got this opposite twist happening. 1, 2, it's a spiral. Big inhale, exhale, and when we come back, I want you to think about pulling your hips back as you untwist. So we're driving this with the hips. The hips drive forward and pull back. We're gonna do 2 more. Reach, inhale, exhale, and last one. Now we're gonna hold on with just, I've got this kind of top arm, and I'm gonna reach through towards my hip with my other arm. So now I've got this twist going on in my upper body. My arms are reaching different directions. And you can experiment with where you're reaching under that stick. And just like we did before, same where we're gonna go in and out, but now switch your top hands. And same thing, 3 times. We're gonna drive our hips forward and twist. And 2. And 3. All right, now we get to do the other side, switching our forward leg, starting from the beginning again. So this time, we want to make sure the knee and the foot are right in front of the hip, straight lines. We're going to have our hand down so our elbow can relax at our side. Stick is going to be kind of up next to the leg. Push it down into the ground, squeeze your glutes. Make sure your back foot is dug under so you can push off your big toe. Push that stick away as you keep driving it into the ground and reach up and over. If you've got a long stick or a bendy stick, you can get both hands on there, go for it. And exhale, come back with your hips, take that stick in both hands, press it up overhead, push those hips forwards, engage the butt, and big stretch, try to reach your shoulders back. Inhale, stretch, 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 and exhale, bring it in. Foot's gonna go out, 45-degree angle, plant that pole inside of your leg there. We're gonna drive our hips one way and stretch our arms in our stick the other direction. Ah, nice twist. A good spiral twist. Pull the hips back to drive this movement. And 2 more. And last one. And now you're gonna reach that arm under and opposite directions. I'm reaching, reaching, reaching. And you can reach in all different areas. But I'm reaching through that little hole made by the stick in my body. I'm reaching under my arm. And pull it back. Switch whichever hand you had on top. And we're gonna do 3 drives again with the hips. Drive the hips, twist that stick. And 2. And 3. Let's hold on to our stick. We're gonna take it down to the floor for our shin box, which we're gonna use our stick to create a little extra drive into that. So like to line up the front shin on the front of my mat. Then I know I've got my feet, my heels are at one end of my mat, my butt's at the other end. So if I'm doing my shin box as well, I'm gonna keep my feet on the far edge and my butt on the close edge. So we're gonna use this stick. So I come over into my shin box, I'm gonna twist, plant it into the ground, drive it into the ground like you wanna actually go through the floor, like you're trying to get your umbrella in the sand at the beach. Drive it down, and as you're pushing down, keep pushing and twisting into your stick. So use all of that like you're really trying to move something. It's gonna engage your core, enhance your stretch. So here we go. We're gonna push down, and we're gonna do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax and switch for a total of 6. So here we go. Beach umbrella into the sand. Keep twisting. Push down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to go over to the other side. Shin box over here. Plant your beach umbrella and push for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And number 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last 3. Pushing down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Pushing down. 4, 3, 2, 1. And push down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Find your comfy place in the middle. And we're going to be holding the stick, or you could hold the band also for this one. All that matters is something that you can hold on to, kind of pull your arms back, stretch your chest, stretch your shoulders. And we'll do a series of neck stretches while we're holding this to enhance that. So start with just taking your ear over to the left side. Continue. It's almost like you're trying to pull apart that stick or band behind you. And I'll just show you my grip. It's palms out. So I'm like this. Yeah? So I keep pulling my stick back. Pull, pull, pull. And then I'm going to do to the left for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm going to do the right for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep pulling on that stick, chin to chest for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then if it feels okay, let's take a circle, circle, switch direction, circle, and circle. And depending on how flexible your shoulders are, or really how long your band or your stick is, whichever one's longest, and maybe a band is a good place to start since they stretch, but just staying in the seated position, band or stick, you're going to hold it in both hands, up and over behind the back, keeping your arms straight. So if you're doing it with your stick and you're like at the bend, you're too close. So take those hands wider. The wider you go, the better it's going to be. And then work your way in. We're going to do 12. So come up, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Always inhale on the way up. Good. And halfway, 6. And last 6. 5. 4. And 3. 2. Excellent. We're gonna use our band for our straddle stretches. Just to make sure. Okay, good. I thought for a moment my volume was completely off and I've been teaching this whole class with no sound on. But thankfully that's not true. So whichever band, long band, short band, whatever you got, take that comfy straddle position where you can still let your thighs internally and externally rotate. You can tell if you can waggle your legs nice and easy. You see, if I take my split too far, I lose the ability to get the wiggle. So somewhere where you can get a good amount of wiggle in those hands. We're gonna turn ourselves towards the center of one leg. I got my band in both hands, kind of a shorter loop. I'm gonna do the same thing like we did yesterday. Bring my chest down to my knee, but this time hook the band around my foot and use that to pull myself even deeper into the stretch. And think about pushing your foot, pull that toe back so you get a good flexion, and then also push your leg out against the band to really straighten your leg. So this band is just giving us something to pull us in and also giving us something to push against, which really, when we're talking about active flexibility and true mobility, we want to be able to push against things in a range of motion. We're being very blessed by the cat energy today. Transfer both ends of the band into your lower hand, and we're going to inhale, opening up our top arm, and reach it up and over towards your foot. And back down, gently release that. Oop, I totally snapped mine. Gently release your band or just let it fly. And we're gonna bring ourselves back up. Transfer, turn towards the other leg. Walk ourselves in. I got my band in both hands. Hook the band around the foot and use it to pull myself in, but simultaneously push my leg out against that band. So it's almost like I'm trying to stretch my leg out and pull my stomach down, both with the band. The band is my device of resistance and force. And then we're going to hold on just with that lower arm, opening up the top arm straight up to the ceiling. And then reach over for that foot. And bring that arm back down. Walk ourselves back out. We're going to trade our band for our stick now. And I actually have to make sure I'm barefoot for this one because my stick will slide off my socks, and that's no good. But staying in your straddle, bend those knees, and we're going to get the stick on the feet. So your feet are holding onto the stick, and we're going to bring palms facing up to the ceiling and close together in the middle. So your pinkies are touching in the middle of that stick. And we're going to use the stick to pull our chest through, stretch the chest, pull our torso really upright, and also give us some resistance to open the legs a little bit more. And then holding on with just one hand, take the other hand and open up, turn and look towards the ceiling. Or behind you rather, kind of up at the ceiling and behind. Bring that in and we'll switch sides for 10. Inhale, reach, exhale, in 9. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more, 1 each side. And last one. All right, we'll let that stick go, and we're gonna bring it up to a standing position. And we're gonna use the stick for this as well. So we've got our hip cars, but this time we're going to focus on just our kind of abduction out to the side. So we're gonna start with a flexion, bringing the knee up into the hip, and I've got my stick next to my hip. You're able to see. So it's right here. So I'm gonna be lifting it up and out to the side. So I'm pushing the stick down into the ground, and I'm pushing my leg into the stick. All right, so we're gonna do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like we did with the shin box, and then switch sides. So here we go. We've got our stick planted next to us, lifting the leg up. I've got neutral core, just like with our hip cars, engaged core. Out to the side and press that stick for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna bring it back in and switch sides. Next to the hips, up into flexion. Out. Oh, that's too far. I don't even have that much abduction on that side. There you go, push. You wanna be able to push into the stick. Active flexibility, right? Something to push against and in. All right, 3 more. Bringing it up, push, drive, drive. 3, 2, 1, and in. Switching sides, flexion, abduction, drive. Try to open that stick. 3, 2, 1, and 1 more each side. Drive that stick down, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and last one over here. Bring it up. I'm amazed by the lack of flexibility in my left hip, but that's all good. Push for 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it in. Release. Uh-oh. A little bit freezy. Feet together, we're gonna slide 1 back, split stance. Remember, we push off that back big toe. Got my forward leg here. That's the side that's gonna hold my stick. Just like we did half kneeling, drive the stick down into the ground, push the stick away, and we're gonna reach up and over for that stick. Really push it away as you're driving it down. And we're gonna switch sides. Remember, push off the back foot, drive that stick into the ground, push it away, and reach up and over. And exhale, bringing it back into the middle. Let's take a wide feet straight, foot straight, toes pointing forward. This stick, still on our stick jam, is gonna go behind. You want it the upper mid back, so it's not down here. It's not where my belly button is. It's kind of up, well, as close to my armpits as I can get it. So what this is doing is this is focusing, that's gonna isolate my extension through my thoracic, that upper back. Nice wide stance, and keeping my stick nice and tight to my back. I'm gonna hinge forward, so I got my back straight. I'm gonna reach one arm, and because I have the stick, right, if I reach forward one side, it forces my other side back. I get natural rotation happening. So I'm gonna be hinging forward. I'm gonna reach my right arm to my left foot, and then across. Keep that stick close. Let the stick give you good rotation in the upper back. And we'll do 5 more. Reach, reach. Oh, feels good. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right, time to put the stick down. We're gonna go through a final sun salutation and see how it feels now that we've opened everything up with our sticks and our bands. Top of the mat, just like how we started. Big toes together, a little bit of space between the heels. Let's take a big breath in. Inhale, reach up, squeeze your butt, rock your weight into your heels, look back, and exhale, hands to the heart, into your forward fold. Inhale, hands to the shins, glance up, exhale, roll down, hands to the mat, take a big step back with the left leg, open up to the right, and back into downward dog. Take it into plank, into up dog, exhale, downward dog. Tiptoe your feet up to your hands. Inhale, hands to the shins, glance up, flat back. Exhale, roll down and roll up. Inhale, arms, goal post and reach. Squeeze your butt, shift your weight into your heels and look back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, hands to the shins, glance up. Exhale, roll down. Step back your right leg and open to the left. Step back your other leg into downward dog. Into plank. Up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Tiptoe. Inhale, hands to the shins. Exhale, roll down, roll up. Arms wide. Goal post your arms, squeeze your butt. Heels. Well, give yourself a pat on the back. Thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. Thanks for taking yesterday's and today's classes. If you did them in a row, awesome. If not, go back, try the other class, and then try this one after next time you're looking for a couple days off of your regular workout with weights, because I really want you to experience feeling the difference between using a stretch with just your body, using a stretch where you have a tool and something kind of to push against, and then think about taking that feeling that we use with our tools, try to infuse that feeling into all your stretches, even if you're not using a tool. So for example, right, without a tool, and I'm just stretching up, I could just be putting my hand up. If I had my stick and I'm reaching over, I kind of have a little bit of a different approach to my stretch, but I want you to have this approach to all your stretches. The idea that it's active, you're very actively either pushing against or reaching towards something. It's more than just yanking it. You're reaching it, and it's getting a different kind of extension and a different kind of mindset with your flexibility. So hopefully this is helpful when it comes to your flexibility training. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line. And otherwise, I will see everybody tomorrow. We've got a New Year's Eve kettlebell flow. I'm really excited. I'm considering even playing music that's just gonna straight up get me copyright written up, but it's okay because I think the private playlist. But anyway, I'm really excited. Happy end of December, and I will see everybody tomorrow for kettlebell flow.